All right, everybody, we are back. So, on the last iteration, what we did is that we went ahead and we got our world object set up as well as our first labyrinth def. So, right now we're really excited, and let's go ahead and get this into the game itself. So, in order to do that, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use one of two methods that I currently have available for spawning labyrinths. These labyrinths or these adventures are basically going to be hooked into either a scenario part, which you can find inside of the scenario parts folder, right, or the scenarios folder, or through what I call a labyrinth key. So the labyrinth key is going to exist as a comp property. So let's go ahead and get started off, and let's just do a scenario first since they're really easy. So the scenarios, the good part is that they're very easy to set up. They're also really easy to implement. The problem is that it's kind of weak sauce because they can only be done at the beginning of the game, right? So if anybody's having a load, has a save game and they want to go and use your adventure, the scene part won't help them. Anyway, so let's go ahead and edit this with our Notepad++. Here we see the scene part. We want to go ahead and name everything up. So for this is going to be Template of Doom. Scene part, the label, this will appear inside the thing. So we're going to say So this is going to appear inside of the game. So you can edit these as you wish. The class, you want to do Scenarios Labyrinth. And what you want to do is that you want to include a mod extension into your scene part. So the mod extension itself, you want to give it the class prem utility dot labyrinth underscore scene underscore extension. And for this is where you're going to determine if you're going to use your target biome or not. So what we're going to say is true. So if you remember, on our labyrinth def, we set the target biome as being a desert. Now we're going to say we're going to use the target biome, which means that whenever it spawns this thing, it's going to look for a desert. All right, labyrinth def name. This is where we're going to link the labyrinth to this. So this was Temple of Doom underscore labyrinth A. This is why not non-ambiguous names are preferred for your def names, because I was able to remember that, and I don't have a good memory, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we'll go ahead and save this as a XML. Boom. And technically, actually, at this point, we can go ahead and spawn it in. In fact, let's see what this looks like. This will be the very first troubleshooting iteration. So if you're a modder, okay, so let me give a quick plug. I'm not getting paid for this. If you're a modder and you mod this game, I highly recommend you get this mod right here, which is Restart RimWorld. It does depend on Harmony. It's actually the only reason I have Harmony activated, and it is an absolute gem. It's out of date. I mean, I guess maybe I could pick it up and redo it, but its simplicity and its effectiveness, it's literally my most used mod. So I highly recommend. If you mod this game and you need to restart it often, get this damn mod. Okay. So anyway, so right here, we're going to go ahead and restart RimWorld. And let's make sure that our mod is active. I guess I should have done that before I restarted RimWorld. It is not. Damn it. Okay, so over here, we're going to go down to our Template of Doom. Go ahead and activate that. Once again, make sure that you have the core active as well, so you don't get any errors. And restarting once again. The first restart was just to show you how good that mod is, you know. All right, here we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to New Colony, Scenario Editor, Edit Mode, Add Part, and we're going to see if it added our Template of Doom, and it did. You see down here at the bottom we have our Template of Doom. Click on that, and at the very bottom of our start list, you'll see our template of doom. Now, all this is editable, and of course, this can now be added into a scenario def itself to make an entire scenario for the start. But let's go ahead and get this going. So we're gonna load up a world, right, full of people, full of hopes and dreams, and then we're going to use it for about 2 seconds and then delete it, along with those people and their hopes and dreams. Really interesting to think about, really. Oh, okay. So let's see what happened. All right. Build rooms. Ooh, okay, so it looks like it did not like having nothing to build. Alright, so I'm going to address that later on. And this right here, I think it's because, yeah, it didn't find my line. Alright, so as you can see, we're going to have a little bit of troubleshooting to do, but it did spawn my secondary map, so I know that the, oh, looks like it did actually do its job. Hold on. I have to see what this second labyrinth it tried doing was. Not sure why it gave me that. Okay, so here we see that, so first off we start. This is the normal starting map over here. If we look at the world, then this is where we started at. And if we look for that purple flag, so you see it off over here. This purple flag is going to be our template of doom. You can see that it's actually at the closest desert. So right here we have a desert. And basically it could have walked this way and found this desert over here, but instead it walked up here and it settled out here. Now if we go to here, what we can look at, you can see that it made a nice nice building actually. So it's already looking like a temple, You can imagine that maybe this is a pyramid or a step pyramid or some sort. You can see that we have doors in front. This is that is outdoored function that we talked about earlier. And let me go ahead and open this bad boy up. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So right here you can see that it went ahead and it spawned a nice little temple actually. Overall, so this is going to be, so I have a lot of videos talking about how the walk actually works. This is very symmetric. I really like this temple right here. But the idea though is that, so we have it walking in, it does not walk out. Let me find the end of this. So the end would be down here. Be right here, right? So this is my end position. And technically my start position is right here. And this is the labyrinth itself. Now there's no rooms, which is one of the errors I got right here, saying that I told it to look for rooms and then there were no rooms to find. So whenever it went to build the room, it threw a hissy fit. So basically, so basically whenever I look in here, the rooms are going to be these filled in areas. Let me go ahead and open one up. Boom. So see right here how we have these nice sections? These are the rooms. And these are going to be the things we're going to use to add in different flavor into our labyrinth. Bam. So the room system, I'm gonna put that inside of another video entirely. But for the most part, though, I just wanted to show you the basic idea of generating a dungeon using a scenario part. Okay, so let's get back to it though. Let's not bask in our glory too long, boys. All right. Okay, so this looks like it's doing good. I did have one little thing I want to check out though. So that one error. Let me see something real fast. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna circle back around to that one. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna set up a labyrinth key. So if we come over here to the thing defs underscore keys, and we look inside this template. Oh, open up with Notepad++. you'll see that this is going to be a thing. Now, this is going to be a building. I left a lot of the building stuff unchanged just because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of time. Now, what you're probably going to end up doing is copying, pasting your own building. But what I really just wanted to show is that this is a building, and I wanted to leave it mostly functional. I changed the ones that you're going to be most interested in. But once again, though, this is just a comp property that you can add to anything with comps. So, so this is going to be the main kicker here. Everything else is kind of standard fare. But what you want to do, though, is name it. So what I'm going to call this is TOD, and this is going to be labyrinth A key. Actually, let me do labyrinth key A. Bam. So this is going to be, so the label is going to be the thing that actually appears on it. For the labyrinth key, let me just call it a key right now. And then we'll come up with something better later on. Call it key. Going down. So the text path, you want to have some nice things for it. Now, basically, what I'm going to do right here, so this is the key. I'm trying to think if there's anything good I can do nice and easy without having to go too crazy with the art. So inside of the core file, I have a few textures that are saved in there. So let me go ahead and open that up real quick. So if you can inside the core, textures, adventure, they have a few in here. Now, obviously, none of these are going to be particularly good. Oh, I didn't realize I put lava and nuclear waste in there. None of these are going to be particularly good for this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the only one that will make kind of sense. Stairs up. 2. And the idea is that it's just going to plop this there. Actually, let me do stairs down, too. I like that one. Nice little RPG stairs. Okay, so like that, this is what the building's going to look like. The draw size, let's go ahead and make this 2 by 2. These are int vector 2s, not int vectors 3s, which means that you just put the XZ value in there. It's going to be the same for this. So my draw size. Okay, everything else is pretty much standard fare for a building. So right here, now we're going to jump down to my comps. This is going to be the main thing that we have to fill in. So first off, the labyrinth depth. So the key itself is kind of a multi-purpose tool. It's used for a whole lot of different things. What we're going to do for this one is basically what we want to do is, okay, so the queue is exactly that. It is a queue. You can put multiple, you can list out however many labyrinths you want into here. What's going to happen is that if it is set to where it's not a portal, then you can keep spawning labyrinths using one key, depending on how many you have in the queue, right? So right here, then, we have just one labyrinth to talk about. So that's our template of Doom, and this is going to be labyrinth A. All right, so queue random, if I did have multiple, then right here I can set it to queue in a random order. So I'm going to say false. Use target biome. Once again, this is similar. So this is another method of spawning in other than the scene part. So therefore, that's why I have this in here as well. True. All right, use same tile. This is going to use the same tile that the key is on, or if it's going to use a different tile. So right here, I'm going to say false. It's going to go out and look for a different tile, similar to how the scene part did. Is portal. This determines if the key itself acts as a portal to the other, to the labyrinth. We're going to say false. Alright, Psycho Labyrinths. This is if we had multiple labyrinths in the queue. Instead of it running out and stopping, it would then repeat the cycle. It would refill the queue. So basically, it just requeues as it dequeues. So this is going to be false, since we only have one. Portal radius. If we were using this as a portal, this would be the radius around the object that it would grab things to pull into the instance. So down here, for the buttons, these are going to be the buttons that are going to be used for pulling things in and out, and basically the general look of it. So what we want to do is that, so the one that is just called button is going to be for spawning the actual labyrinth itself. So what we're going to say then is that we're going to do a adventure, but I'm going to use the key icon. The button label is going to be the label of the button on the screen, not whenever you hover, not the tooltip. So this is going to be Open Labyrinth, and for the button description, this is going to be the actual tooltip that appears whenever you hover it with the cursor. Okay, so for the pull button and the push button, these are if you're using it as a portal. Basically, you can push things into and out of the portal, out of the labyrinth through the portal, and this is what those buttons are going to look like. The Gen button text and the Gen dialogue text, this right here is going to be the warning window that pops up before they generate the thing, the labyrinth. This is going to pop up in-game. The purpose for this is to prepare them for the long load time of making the new map. And also to give them any special instruction. So the button text is going to be exactly that, the text that appears on the button. So we're going to say Gen Dungeon. And for the dialogue, you can put a bunch of stuff. But, you know, generally what I like to put is some type of warning that this may take a while. So we'll say warning /n/. For those who don't know, this right here will do a carriage return down to the next line, and then /t tabs over. So we say warning, may take a bit, okay, and there we have it. Bam. Okay, so now we have a method of putting this into the game. Now, for right now, these are actually kind of important. So the cost list and the designation category, because I have a designation category, that means that it can be built. Right? This means that the player can build it and they can find it to build it inside of their miscellaneous options. Right? The cost is how much it's going to cost to build it. Usually you don't want this to be the case, but in this case I want this to be the case so I can test it out. So let me go ahead and run with it. Alright, so let me go ahead, so let me save this as, so I'm going to make sure you're saving everything as an XML. I'm going to call this Template of Doom. Save. Okay. Alright, and now let's go ahead and switch back over to the game. Just in case everybody's still sitting peacefully. And we're going to go ahead and restart that bad boy. Okay. This time I'm not going to enter through the scenario. I'm going to try to make the key. So this is as if this was like a loaded game or a just a game that they didn't want to start with a scenario, or maybe they started with their own scenario. Okay. Click on that guide mode. And now if I come over here to miscellaneous, you'll see that I now have the option to build a key. So the key itself is going to be a very striking staircase down. And you can see that now I have the option Open Labyrinth, right? Which is, so this Open Labyrinth right here was the label. The Open Labyrinth that's behind my mouse right now is the description. So let me go ahead and open the labyrinth. So this right here, warning, may take a bit. This is the warning text. This is the Gen Dungeon, right? So this is all the text that I put in. Ooh. Ooh. So it looks like I misspelled my labyrinth def name. Congratulations. Okay, but anyway, but I think you, for the most part, get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and cut this short right here. On the next video, we are going to start looking at how to honestly, I'm going to troubleshoot out the problems we have right now, and then I'm going to make a second labyrinth to link onto this labyrinth to kind of show you how that functionality works. And then, yeah, then I'm going to also fix this dumb little bug. Basically what happened is I didn't capitalize my T in TOD, so the whole world fell apart. Awesome. All right, so that's the end of that, ladies and gentlemen. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.